What's up again, everybody? If I learned anything from Friday's video, I learned these two things. The learning was twofold. Thing number one, people really like to talk about cookies. Apparently there's a lot of people that do like macadamia nut cookies, and I shouldn't say no one likes that. I apologize if you're a macadamia nut cookie lover. Or a macadamia nut cookie nut, like if you're really crazy. Anyway, that's number one. Thing number two, I do have a tendency to say that the next set is going to be the best. I do have a tendency to do that. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to make sure I don't repeat myself. I don't do any of my old ideas, always new content. So what I'm going to do today is something I've done for all of the previous sets for the past 3 sets, and I'm going to give you 5 predictions as to what I think we're going to find within the Dynasty set, which could very well be the best set of all of the sets in Flesh and Blood. And if it's not the best, it's at least going to be like the second best or maybe the third best, could even be like the fourth best. Either way, we're going to have a good time with the set. I love supplemental sets. So let's talk about the top 5 Dynasty predictions that I have for you. These could come to pass. I have a really good feeling about it this time. I have no insight outside of what's already been spoiled in the set. By the way, I do want to talk about this. There was a spoiler last Thursday, I think it was, from the Tall Timmy, and he spoiled a really cool warrior axe. And then as of like, I don't know, 12 to 24 hours, depending on when this video goes live, there was a spoiler by my good buddy Watch Flake, aka Flake, aka also known as Matt DeMarco. That's a lot of AKAs. He put out 2 spoilers via 983 Media. You should go check those out, but they're really cool. One of them is like a big ol' shotgun for Mechanologist. It's like a 5 free attack. You basically just attack for 5 every 2 turns. I don't know if I really should dig in. Go look at his video. I think that's what you should do. You should go look at his video. And then there was one of my favorite pieces of art that they spoiled early when the set kind of was announced. And it's like a bunch of fireworks. That card's pretty good. So go check those out. I'll put a link in the comments down below. You can see that. I think those cards are honestly really solid. And Boost Dash has got itself a nice little weapon. But let's talk about the predictions, and I'm going to start off with a free one. So this is technically not a top 5 list, it's a top 6 list. Here's the first free one. I think, prediction number 0, I think that this entire storyline is going to be taking place at this Dragon Festival that is mentioned in both of the letters. This one, of course, is from the Tall Timmy's video, and the one, I believe Matt read at the very bottom of his as well, that the weapon that is being given, that is being talked about and being spoiled, is going to be given in perpetuity to someone at this esteemed Dragon Festival. So I have this sneaking suspicion that this is not just a cool thing, a bit of lore to put in it, but I think this is, perhaps this entire thing is taking place either at this Dragon Festival or, you know, leading up to this Dragon Festival. And I think the Drakai of Ceremonies is, well, I think there's more than meets the eye, or perhaps is going to feature prominently in this set. I think could even be one of the classes we already know about. Could be a hero that we get to play as well. And who the heck signs their name like that? Like, who is that? Okay, that's theory number 0. We'll talk about that here more in a moment, but let's go with number 1. Prediction number 1, I think gold is going to be hard to come by, but honestly incredibly game-changing for a lot of heroes, and this is a pretty easy prediction. I don't expect gold to be very easy to make at all. We know Crown of Dominion is a way to make gold, and gold tokens are fundamentally really powerful, because if you pitch a blue to activate a gold token, you'll draw a card replacing the blue, but you've netted yourself 1 resource. And so gold is going to be very hard to get your hands on, and if it's relatively easy to get your hands on, then we are going to have some absolutely insane things that can be done. Nevertheless, I do think this is going to be a huge game changer because just starting with Crown of Dominion to give yourself a gold token can really do some stuff for certain classes. This is like an intro prediction. That's like one of those predictions that you soften up the field for all these other possible predictions. And from this point forward, now we have some interesting possibilities, yet also could be not true. I don't know. Well, let's just go on to the next one. I think we're going to get our third merchant in this set. I think that they are going to be a once per turn action pay 1. I think that they are going to generate gold tokens. And I think that they are going to complete the cycle, if you will. The cycle of merchants. And this is where I think our Drakai of Ceremonies comes in, because it could be that the Drakai of Ceremonies is somehow labeled as a merchant. I don't know. I could see that possibly being the case. Either way, I think we are getting a third merchant. I think it's going to be a thing. And I definitely don't think that they're going to drop the ball and not make a merchant. But if they do, you know what? There's always next time. It just makes so much sense, though. The very first ever supplemental expansion set, we got Kavdayan, Trader of Skins. He was all about copper. It's when copper debuted. You pitched 3, which is the equivalent of activating a copper. So you built a deck around him with some blues, and you were able to generate coppers, right? And then use those coppers if you wanted to. Then in Everfest, we got Genus, who was there on the scene, if you will, and he generated silvers, and you pitched 2, which is the base of silver. And now we have, in a region that is all about red cards, you've got Draconic Illusionist, Draconic Ninja, Draconic Warrior Emperor, that's all about red cards, literally can only play red cards. It just makes sense to get a merchant that runs on red, that generates gold tokens. Now, I know in this prediction I said he's going to be hard to come by as far as generating gold tokens, but I will say that they probably made a merchant that can do it, and that is incredibly spicy, because that could actually be a hero that could be really fun in Ultimate Pit Fight. Play Ultimate Pit Fight, just do it. Okay, now here's where things go off the rails a little bit. I think the Aether are going to be introduced, like, finally, fully, these are the bad guys. I think they're finally going to, like, put their foot down with this set, and they're going to set up the Aether as the bad guys of the entire world and refocus all of this. Well, I guess they'll start the whole refocusing process for all the regions of Wraith on the fact that these Aether are awakening from their slumber. And I think that this could be the jumping off point, that maybe through this uprising and from the destabilization, maybe from the fight between light and shadow, but through this uprising, the Emperor maybe gets slain and usurped and doesn't pass along the information that you need to go down into this one spot and you need to commune with this creature. Otherwise, it'll wake up and bad things happen. But this could be the set that is the jumping off point for the storyline going forward of Flesh and Blood, really. And I think this could be setting up PvE next year for you have to go and fight the big bads in all of these regions, in all of these different vistas. I think this could be the jumping off point, and that's incredibly exciting. I don't know if you agree. Let me know in a comment below. This week I am going to make that lore video. I have told myself to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to sit down probably tomorrow if I have the time. Probably tomorrow and grind it out. We'll see. It's a busy week, so I'm not sure, but that is going to happen. So if you don't know who the Aether are, just subscribe to the channel. Make the number go to the number, and then I'll explain it to you in a video this week. All right. I have to start by saying this is not official Flesh and Blood art, but I kind of wish it was. Okay, this is art from the same guy, the same artist who did the art for the Crown of Dominion, which is the crown that the Emperor puts on, and it is heavily alluded to that the Crown of Dominion, when put on, helps the wearer connect to the Aether who is slumbering and hear their whispers and lies. But apparently you have to do that if you want it to not wake up. Either way, I think that With the new class that we could possibly be getting, I think we're going to get an assassin. Now, I don't know. I really want it to be like a fire seer, like Zathari the Spy Master. That's deep down, that's what I want. But I think if I had to put down money on it, I think the safe bet is assassin. It makes sense. And I didn't think about this before, but it was mentioned in a comment. So whoever said that in a comment, kudos to you. It could be an assassin employed by the Emperor to go and take out either Phi or Dromai. And it could look just like this. Like, this is art done by the artist that did Crown of Dominion, but apparently he did it like 2 years ago, and it was for like a book on a website where they get like free art. Either way, it's really cool looking, and this could be like a fire assassin. That would be really sick. I think that that's like the good bet. I think if we had to pin down, point to a hero or a class that it could be, it just makes sense that assassin is probably the easiest one to go for. So even though deep down I want a class that's outside of the bounds of like the lore book right there, if I had to put money, it would be assassin. And finally, as we always do, I'm going to attempt to predict the Fable. And I'm going to say that the Fable is none other than the altar. The altar that you go to talk to and be talked at, perhaps is the better way to say it. That the Emperor specifically fitted with iron and glass and has to go and put on the Crown of Dominion and commune with the Aesir, because that is his job, because he is the Drakai of Aesir as the Emperor. I think that is going to be the Fabled for this set. So those are my predictions. What do you think about those predictions in a comment below? Do you think the Fable is going to be something else? Do you think the Fable is going to be a landmark? I guess that's a really interesting question. Is it going to be a landmark, or is it going to be like an item or something like that? Let me know in a comment below what you think about all of these predictions. If you have your own predictions you'd like to add, go on record. Type it down in the comments below. Then, when the set's all spoiled, you can come back to this video and you can be like, ha ha ha, look at me. I knew all the answers ahead of time. Either way, we're playing at this all together with basically the same information right now. I haven't seen a spoiler card that is my own personal spoiler card. I have not received info about said card, so I've only seen what you've seen. So it's kind of fun to play the game. Feel free to play along down in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.